something in college makes women want to.
I mean, I think it kind of goes back to like women out earning men have a hard time respecting the men they're with.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
I actually read into that data.
It's not true.
I read into that data and it explained.
So there's the first vibe I'm getting from him is he seems like a little bit annoyed. He almost like it's kind of like what I'm saying. He doesn't really seem to be.
Well, you'll see why.
Okay.
Annoyed.
What podcast is this he's on? It seems kind of like a
I don't
weird.
know.
Okay.
But yeah, you'll see why.
Why? So a lot of the time, the women reported that they had way too much responsibility in the marriage, so they were expected to be in charge of the household duties and still work a job, and they had to.
Oh come on! What percent of modern women actually cook?
It was.
Like,
Wait. That is.
20% of the men, when both parents are working, only 20% actually reported to doing household duties. That's scary when you're both working.
I mean, I'm just saying the shit's automated nowadays. I mean, you have a washing machine, a dishwasher.
Yeah, but
Sure, you can say, but
even
even at that, but as much as it's automated, men still don't do it.
don't do
They still don't do it. That's the issue. Is that one of the big problems with households?
For divorce,
It absolutely is a reason.
Chores?
When you get older and you manage a household on your own, Pearl, you'll see how fucking annoying it is when you're working and then you come home and everything is fucked up and horrible and nobody's fucking cleaning anything. That is a totally valid reason for divorce, of course.
Chores, to break up a home,
Pearl,
a family.
Have you lived in a filthy home before?
You've never lived with a.
So I could be wrong, but I feel like this girl went on H3 to debate Ethan, and so
Probably.
she seems to be like, if I'm getting the person right, she seems to be like anti-feminism, and then these other people seem to be more feminist in this debate, right?
I feel like that's a generalization that I wouldn't make because it's just a bit too generalizing. But in terms of just Pearly things, she generally falls more in the like red pill kind of side of stuff.
That's kind of what I mean. I mean more not necessarily anti-feminist, but red pill, like more. Yeah.
I wouldn't. Well, actually, I would categorize Pearly things as anti-feminist. It's more that I wouldn't categorize Destiny as like a feminist.
Well, that's kind of what I mean. But in this particular debate, he seems to be taking the woman's side over the man's side, right? And she's taking the man's side.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
All right, let's just keep watching.
Consistent. If it is consistent, where you're consistently having to have that burden upon yourself, you keep telling him, "Please, can you clean up?"
Like it's so funny because like lifelong friends from like grade school to high school will dorm in college and then hate each other forever over like bad dorm roommates, and that's not even a relationship. So yeah, of course, I think stuff like this is perfectly valid. I think
literally, I lived into this house with my friend. We are currently having the worst argument I think I've ever had with someone because of fucking household responsibilities. Fucking it. I don't know if you've ever lived with someone else before, or if you live with your girlfriend or whatever, but
yeah, I live with her. Yeah.
I don't know if it was a problem when you first moved in, but when you're sorting out like, divvying up who's gonna do what and stuff like that, like there can be some pretty heated arguments because it can be like stressful. It can be difficult. It's not at all trivial, even though it sounds like it.
Yeah. No. It's like not everything is automated. Like everything's automated. Like, yeah, you can like microwave shit. But
I can't afford a dishwasher. Like not everyone can afford it as well.
But then also like, yeah, you can microwave food. But like I'll just straight up admit my girlfriend does more than me in terms of that, and I really should do more. But I kind of feel like in a lot of situations she's just better at it, and I feel like I'll just get in the way if I'm like trying to do something. Obviously, that's just an excuse. But all right, let's. It's different person to person. Different relationships will have different setups. Yeah.
But yeah, let's not go into that because that's personal. Let's just carry on with the video.
Splitting up duties in the household is like one of the most important parts of like a relationship because it's where you're spending most of the time together. This is why I say people get triggered when I say I don't think you're even dating until you live together, because until you live together you don't really know who the other person's like, and once you start living together and you see what the household duties are like, then you get a feel for what the relationship is.
I mean, I just think that like I don't know. I feel like that stuff can be worked out. Chores, like
hold on, wait. Do you understand?
So my vibe on first of all, do you know the girl's name or no? That girl that was just talking.
I guess she's just called Pearl.
Okay, or you said Pearly things or something, right?
Yeah, that's her like her tag Pearly things, but I think people just call her Pearl.
Yeah, so I find it very strange when you have women who are taking the that red pill side. And in a way, I think you can make the case that it's like, oh, well, good for her because like she's being contrarian and like going against the norm. But it just, there's something weird. It's the same thing with like Candace Owens being Black Republican, and then same with Dave Rubin being a gay Republican. It seems very weird to me. Like it almost, I think we talked about it before, but it almost seems a little bit like a grift a little bit, because it's like, it's so rare that like they're almost capitalizing on the fact that she's almost capitalizing on the fact that she's a girl, kind of like arguing for men, right? I'm not saying that it's not wrong. It's not wrong, but
when she was first, I remember seeing clips of her when she was first like gaining popularity, and my first thought was just that I was like, this is a grifter. Like she's
right?
not working to. And even at the time that I think she was coming up, I think I was on that kind of like, not on the red pill vibe, but on the more like right-leaning stuff when it came to those kind of topics. So she was probably saying a lot of things that I agreed with, but I assume she was a grifter.
That's the whole thing.
She also, I'm pretty sure it's Pearl. She has like bits where she says like she doesn't think women should have the right to vote. I'm pretty sure. She's like, like, imagine advocating to remove your own rights to vote.
Oh, it's very weird. Yeah, and it's like I kind of want. I'll bring up a clip later. I don't really want to go too far into this, but it's like basically it's this like Southern redneck guy in America singing about, he's a Republican singing about how he has this job that pays shit, but like it's somehow like the liberals' fault. It's like it doesn't make any sense. But I'll show you that clip last and we'll end with it. So let's just keep watching this.
Wait, hold on. You're not saying anything. Do you do this intentionally? Where you're like, I don't know about that. I'm telling you that.
I mean, that's you're giving your opinion. I'm giving.
I'm not giving an opinion. I'm
this
saying
is what she was doing on H3
I'm putting it forward as fact. In a house, delineation of chores is one of the most important things. Yeah. That if somebody's constantly destroying the bathroom, leaving clothes everywhere, leaving dirty food in the sink, they can't clean their dishes or whatever. Like these things will destroy anything over time.
Yeah, but that's what she said. She said, "I'm sure we can work it out." That's
well, but
like,
they obviously can't because they're not, though.
They're not working
it out.
Bro, then maybe these women that are making all this money, that, you know, they're making so much money working and they don't want to do the house chores, maybe they should go and get an older guy with more money so they can go and employ a maid.
What?
And a cook.
What?
Yeah.
You guys
Maybe
just
they
be
should
saying
do
anything,
that.
man.
How's that anything?
Okay, but then,
no,
but then
you got to put no. What? Listen to what you just said. You said they're leaving the guys that make less money because they're expected to make money and do the house. Yeah. And you were saying how hard it is because you're at home and you're doing all these chores. Okay, then don't be with a guy that makes less money. Find a guy that makes more money, and then you don't have to do chores because you employ the maid and a cook.
Okay, but then
that's an easy solution. Like just find a guy with more money, basically. You know, just like.
Yeah,
young guys can't complain.
That's the trick. Is just find a rich guy.
Just only date the rich guys. That works.
And the girls won't date their own age because guys can't do house chores. Then you'd be like, oh, sorry, you're 25 years old. You have to be single till you're 35 and learn how to do the dishes. Like,
and only top 5% of men can even afford that. To be like, I'm gonna get a in the UK. How many men can afford that?
And what percentage of women are these high flyer women that are making 6 figures a year?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
No, I'm just asking you because you're making this point about these women that make so much money and then they make
so much money.
Speak into the mic. Speak into the mic.
They work. So having a full-time job, on average, men or women are going into work. They're in the workforce. So obviously they're making money. I'm not saying they're high earners. All I'm saying is they're working. That's it. Okay. So the solution is men should understand that their women are also working. So how can I help, knowing that we're doing the same job? How can I make her life easy? Because she's making my life easy by doing the chores.
Pearl said that. I'm sure there's a way you could work it out.
All right, I think I get the overall argument here is basically like this guy and Pearly thing is just saying they're defending men essentially, and then Destiny and these two other girls are defending women. Women have to go to work and have to cook and clean, and that's not fair. And I'll overall agree with what Destiny's side is saying. I'm assuming you two do too, right?
Yeah.